This is going to be a little bit of a different video than some of my other videos. Not in a bad way or anything, but in this video, I'm going to be opening up a file on the most terrifying, relentless, and psychologically unstable competitor in the history of professional sports. I'm not here to talk about Michael Jordan's suave, calculated trash talk. I'm not going to be here to talk about Larry Bird telling you exactly where he's going to hit a game winner over your head. In this video, I'm going to be dissecting the man who turned verbal warfare into a full-blown mental illness on the hardwood floor. The big ticket, I'm talking about Kevin Garnett. Now, I said this video is not going to be like some of my other videos, and that's because a lot of people know how good Kevin Garnett was. And that's what a lot of my videos have been like. I'm not going to be talking about his skill set. I'm going to be talking about his trash talking. Most NBA players use trash talk to brag or get a quick competitive edge. Kevin Garnett used trash talk as a literal tool of psychological destruction. He didn't just want to beat you, he wanted to strip you of your self-esteem. He wanted to make you hate basketball, and he wanted to force you to question your life decisions. He studied his opponent's personal lives, he probed their insecurities, and he crossed lines that made the NBA front office break out in cold sweats. Now, everyone watching this knows how insanely good KG was as a player. He's an MVP, he's a champion, he's a 9-time All-NBA selection, and he's one of the greatest two-way big men to ever live. He's one of the greatest power forwards to ever live. We don't need to waste time breaking down his basic stats or shooting splits today, because if you're watching this video, you're probably an NBA fan, and hopefully you're not a casual, and you know how good Kevin Garnett really was. For this video, I'm going to be deep diving into the dark art of KG's trash talking. I'm going to be breaking down the mechanics of his mental warfare, analyzing his craziest, most offensive and hilarious verbal attacks, and I'm going to be uncovering the legendary stories told by the guys who had to survive with him or against him. If you love pure, unadulterated, old-school basketball savagery, please smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe when notifications turn on, because these videos take hours and hours to produce, and I post NBA content every single day. But other than that, let's dive into the mind and trash talking of Kevin Garnett. To understand Kevin Garnett's trash talk, you have to understand that it wasn't a performance he turned on when the whistle blew. It was an obsessive state of mind that started hours and hours and days before tip-off. Doc Rivers famously told a story about KG in practice. Even when Garnett was resting or injured and wasn't allowed to play, he wouldn't just sit on the bench like a normal human being. He would stand on the sideline, mirror the player playing his position, and sprint down the sideline parallel to them. If his teammate dropped into a defensive stance, KG dropped into a defensive stance on the sideline. He was completely possessed by the game of basketball. KG's mental attacks relied on 3 distinct tactics. Number 1 is a pre-jump ball disrespect. Shumpert and Paul Pierce once recalled that before the game even started, while players were waiting around the center circle for the jump ball, KG would walk up, grab an opponent's jersey, look at the name on the back, and say out loud, "Who is this? I don't even know your name." He would just establish dominance before a single second ticked off the clock. Number 2 is the invisible line cross. KG didn't care about unspoken rules or boundaries. If you had a personal tragedy, an insecurity, a physical flaw, or a weakness in your personal life, you better hope there's no way that anybody could find out, because KG would find out, and he would find out about it and weaponize it on the NBA court. And the third is the physical intimidation echo. He didn't just talk, he backed it up with insane, aggressive physical body language. He would block your shot after the whistle blew just so you wouldn't feel the satisfaction of seeing the ball go through the hoop. He would crawl on the floor like a dog, bark at guards, and clap his massive hands 2 inches away from your eyes. Now, the 3 laws of KG trash talk is number 1 is to never let the opponent feel comfortable even after the whistle. Number 2, attack personal history, not just basketball skills. And number 3, to outwork them physically so the verbal attacks shatter their spirit. He made the basketball court feel like a hostile environment where your safety was questioned. Now let's look at the actual stories, from the funny to the crazy to the straight up disrespect. If you want a story that perfectly sums up how cold-blooded Kevin Garnett was, then look no further than this interaction with a rookie, Joakim Noah. When Noah entered the NBA in 2007, Kevin Garnett was his absolute hero. Noah grew up in New York. He had posters of KG on his bedroom wall. He wore KG's shoes, and he modeled his entire high-energy, hyper-passionate play style after him. During one of their first matchups, Noah finally got the courage to talk to his idol during a stoppage in play. Noah looked at KG with wide, starry eyes and said, "Man, KG, I had your poster on my wall. I looked up to you my whole life, man." That was a mistake because Paul Pierce was standing right next to them. A normal star would say something like, "Hey, I appreciate it, keep working," something like that. This was mid-game, kind of a weird thing to say at this time, but KG didn't even blink. He looked Noah dead in the soul, leaned in and said, "F you, Noah." Noah was completely shattered. Pierce later admitted in an interview that it crushed him. It literally crushed Noah. This kid, fresh out of college, telling his hero he loved him, and KG just completely destroyed his heart. From that exact second, Noah's respect turned into absolute hatred. It ignited one of the most physical, bitter rivalries in Eastern Conference history, resulting in years of technical fouls, chest bumps, and near brawls between the Bulls and Celtics. KG didn't want fans on the court, he just wanted victims. Now we have to talk about the incidents where Kevin Garnett didn't just push the line, he took a sledgehammer to it. In 2013, during a heated game between the Celtics and Knicks at Madison Square Garden, KG and Carmelo Anthony were battling in the post all night. Words were exchanged on every single possession, but then KG allegedly dropped a personal line regarding Carmelo's wife at the time. KG reportedly told Melo that his wife tasted like Honey Nut Cheerios. Carmelo completely lost his mind. He spent the rest of the game blinded by rage. After the final whistle, Melo was so heated that he walked straight past the locker rooms and stood outside the Boston Celtics team bus in the MSG tunnel, surrounded by security, waiting for KG to come out so he could fight him. KG got inside Melo's head so deeply that a superstar was ready to throw away millions in fines just to get a piece of him. In 2010, after a game against the Detroit Pistons, Charlie Villanueva, who suffers from alopecia, which is an autoimmune condition that prevents hair growth, he tweeted out that Garnett called him a cancer patient on the court. The media went into an absolute frenzy. The backlash was so swift that KG had to release a formal press statement claiming he was misunderstood. KG's defense was, "My comment to Charlie Villanueva was in fact, 'You are cancerous to your team in our league. I would never be insensitive to cancer patients.'" We know what he really meant. Either way, it's still crazy trash talk, but I think we know what he really meant. Whether you believe KG's cover-up or Charlie's account, it proved one thing. When KG was locked in the heat of battle, he was searching for psychological nerve endings to press. Consequences be damned. KG's psychological attacks worked on almost everyone. They worked on Dwight Howard, they worked on Lamar Odom, they worked on Joakim Noah, and they worked on Carmelo Anthony. They didn't really work on one man though. The ultimate stoic antithesis to Kevin Garnett was Tim Duncan. Even though on May 9th, 1999, on Mother's Day, Kevin Garnett was reported to have said "Happy Mother's Day, mother effer" to Tim Duncan, which doesn't seem like much until you realize that when Tim Duncan was 13 years old, the day before his 14th birthday, Tim Duncan's mother died of breast cancer. And Kevin Garnett 100% knew that when he said that, which is a crazy thing to say. But KG later admitted that trying to trash talk Tim Duncan was the most frustrating, demoralizing experience of his entire basketball career. Garnett would try everything. He would clap in Duncan's face, insult his game, hit him with elbow bumps, and murmur psychological attacks into his ear, but Duncan's reaction was complete, total silence. Duncan wouldn't get mad, he wouldn't yell back, he would just look at KG with blank eyes, trot down to the other end of the floor, catch the ball in the bank shot post spot, drop 25 points and 15 rebounds on KG's head, and quietly walk to the bench. KG spoke about this on a podcast years later, saying, "People don't understand. Timmy would hit you with subtle stuff. He wouldn't say F you. He would just hit you with the almost or a nice try, real quiet. That would make you want to burn the building down. You're spending all this energy trying to rile him up, and then you look at the stat sheet and he's got 20 and 15 on you. I had to quit talking trash to Timmy because he wasn't giving me a reaction." Duncan defeated the ultimate trash talker by refusing to give him a target. It's the ultimate basketball chess match. But whether you love him or hate him, we will never ever see another player that trash talks at the level of Kevin Garnett. We might see players that perform like him, but we'll never see another person and player of the same caliber of Kevin Garnett. In today's modern NBA, with social media, mic'd up broadcasts, high-definition cameras on every angle, and strict referee guidelines, KG's style of raw, unfiltered, psychological warfare simply couldn't survive. He was a dinosaur of pure competitive malice, a guy who treated every single night like a battle for his life. He didn't talk trash to be funny or to get clout. He talked trash because it was the fuel that kept his internal motor running at 200 miles per hour for 21 legendary seasons. Now, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. What is your absolute favorite Kevin Garnett story? Do you think he ever crossed the line at some points, or do you just miss that relentless, old-school competitive fire in today's game? Make sure to drop your thoughts and hot takes below. Smash that like button and subscribe when notifications turned on so you never miss a video, because I post NBA content every single day and these videos take hours and hours and hours to produce. I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching these videos and watching the channel. Other than that, that's going to do it for this video.